Hello Descendants and welcome to the channel. Paps here, and we've had another dev note released this morning. Let's get into it. Dev note 8. Greetings Descendants, this is the first Descendant dev team. We were a bit worried with the previous dev note 7. Having the thought that we might have covered too much ground in our attempt to go over everything we were working on, instead of going into the details of each topic. It was a relief though, to see through the community's reaction that many of our descendants could see the big picture of the direction the development is going. So while we painted a broad picture last time, we'd like to delve into the several topics in detail from now on, depending on development progress. In this dev note, we'll tackle one of the most hotly debated topics among the development team since the last crossplay open beta test. Field enhancements. Lovely. This is what we wanted. Surveys conducted with our tests and their ratings show that we have made significant improvements to the first Descendant, but we've also heard a lot of frustrations with the fields. The dev team agreed, and we've been working together to improve field play as much as possible before the launch, and then contribute to update and improve while the game is in service. That's good. That's really good. The first step in enhancing field play was identify the problems. The conversation created a lot of ideas, but it was critical to determine what the main issues were and what solutions would make sense for the game. After some debate, the dev team identified the main issues as inconvenient co-op play and empty fields. Yes, guys, this is just massive. It's just showing that Nexon are really listening to the community, because I don't know about you, but there wasn't many enemy types in the fields. They were very empty. Okay, let's go on. Co-op play improvements. First, let's discuss co-op. In the first Descendant, as a single field is relatively big. However, with our 4 players entering this vast field, limited means to assist with co-op and the frequency of players engaging in missions. Seamless co-op play wasn't easy to achieve. During our conversations, we contemplated about increasing the number of participants per session, but we decided to put that on hold for the time being, given the path the first Descendant is taking and the comfortable play experience we want to provide. You got to hand it to them, yeah, because it seems that they are trying to increase that limit, but it may cause the game to be not as fluid as we enjoyed on the beta. So that's a good development. That's sensible. They've got to look at that first, haven't they? So for the launch version, the dev team chose to shift the scale of session to a zone within the field known as battlefield rather than a wide field, and we're working on simulating 4-player co-op on a battlefield by battlefield basis. Right, okay, and as you can see, we got the picture here of what now. This is where now is this the field, or is this part of the field or the battleground, or is the battleground a small part or the larger area? I think we probably need to have that a little bit more. When we get the gameplay, I'm sure we'll figure that out. We focused on making co-op play to be more fluent by improving our session matching rules, introducing the option to request support during missions, and more. We'll talk more about usability enhancements later in this note. Field content enrichment. Next, let's explore the enrichments to field play. During the last crossplay open beta test, one of the most common feedback we heard about the fields was that they were too static, and there wasn't any content to play unless you had a mission. This wasn't our initial intention, and we've been reviewing the empty fields. in two ways: adding and improving missions and adding more field content. We'll talk more about the improvements to missions at another time, but today we'll focus on the new field content. New content. Encrypted Vault. Currently, the dev team is focused on adding combat and out of combat content to fields, with the latter dubbed Encrypted Vault. These vaults are strewn around the field, carrying information and resources that the magistrates have hidden away. Descendants will be able to locate and decrypt them in a simple mini-game to gain rewards. As out of combat content, it will be a welcome change of pace in between playing the fields. So it's kind of like a patrol, or it's kind of, wow, it'd be interesting to see that on gameplay. Okay, we got some pictures here. I take it these are the vaults that we access for the mission. They look sick. They look sick. So I guess we interact with these and then we're thrown into the mission, or we're thrown into like a patrol type thing. It'll be interesting to see. Definitely. Okay. This is the mini game. Okay. Looks cool, but we have to wait out, see what that actually entails. Does that mean on the left we get that artifact? Oh, right. Looks like a mouse in the center. Okay. Well, we'll have a look. See what happens there. New content: Void Fragment and Void Fusion Reactor. Fields include items known as void fragments. The void fragments can be destroyed by an attack of matching attribute, and when destroyed, an item known as a void shard can be attained. When you acquire a void shard and put them into the so-called void fusion reactor, a secret monster known as a Vulgus commander is summoned. Defeating the summoned commander will yield a reward, making this an additional piece of content that can be replayed alongside the field missions. Nice. Now in Destiny 2 we had like yellow bars that come around every so often. They spawn in, so if these shards are kind of like a trigger to that, by putting them in the reactor, that's pretty cool. It's like summoning a boss fight. Defeat that, get extra loot. Great. That's a dope picture though of the void fusion reactor. Looks cool. New content: Vulgus Recon Outpost. Okay. In addition to the fields, we are now littered with Vulgus outputs from the invasion of Ingress. Karel's instructions to find the Ironheart prompted the establishment of recon outposts throughout the field. These outposts are scattered around the area, and vary in size depending on importance. Scouts monitor the field. Beginning with the smallest outputs, players will frequently encounter and go into battle with them as they explore the fields. The large outposts house massive power units to investigate the Ironheart and transmit battle data back to their base. Because of their significance, they are guarded by Vulgus garrisons. When a Descendant discovers an outpost, they are automatically assigned the mission to destroy it. Your objective is to eliminate the Vulgus stationed there and destroy the outpost, dealing a blow to Karel and the Vulgus Legion. That's on top of everything else. Oh, they've nailed it. I'm looking forward to this game. And look at those pictures. Those pictures look absolutely sick. I guess that this top one is a smaller outpost, whilst that one's probably massive. Yeah, look at the size on that. Okay, continuing on. New content: Records. Next, as you explore the fields, you discover various records. These are devices that contain hidden stories that shed light on the world view surrounding the continent of English. Oh, lore. We are getting lore. Okay, that's cool as well. That is so good. They can be obtained for various objectives in the fields, as well as through different in-game activities such as quest completion, and they are saved via the UI. Look at that picture. Yeah, look at those cards. That card, that just looks amazing. I can't wait to dive in deep onto that. Okay, add in field difficulty and usability features. Okay, as we mentioned previously in the dev notes, once you've completed the normal difficulty, you'll be able to switch to hard, which will be quite the challenge. The new dungeons will also be available in normal and hard difficulty, which we'll go over in greater detail later. The hard difficulty in particular features a drop in rotation system. Each battle includes a drop mechanism that changes on a regular basis, allowing players to identify and play in battlefields that drop items they might need. The drop rotation information will be detailed in the UI to ensure seamless gameplay and enjoyable item farming. So looking at that field difficulty system, it looks pretty good, and if you look in the background there, that's the hub. That's the hub where you initiate it by the looks of it. That looks pretty cool. Okay, I'll be looking forward to that. I like hard content. Oh my gosh. Difficulty rewards. Again, this is like each area. Okay. That's interesting. Look at that. The Grand Square Fallen Theatre. Is that in one? No, that's all of them in the map. So they'll probably be within each kind of area, or that's what I'm thinking, because there's a lot more there. There's loads. Time remaining to change. Alright, so it's on a 3-day, looks like a weekly basis. Oh, that's good. In addition to the ability to submit support requests to other players during missions, we're implementing a few more changes to make field play more fun. First of all, you can now change descendants in non-Albion field camps. And we've also created new waypoints outside of regular camps to help replay missions much easier. As an example, guys, request support on system. Okay, in the game menu. Be interesting to have a look at that and to see that in game. Okay, wrapping up. Today we've elaborated on everything we can about what's coming to the fields in the future, and while there's obviously a limit to how much we can explain in words and pictures, the team is anxious to share as much as possible in one form or another. We'll talk more about the areas that require additional work, such as mission enhancements, next time, and we'd love to hear your feedback and thoughts so we can continue the conversation in future dev notes. We eagerly welcome your ongoing interest and feedback on the first Descendant, and finally we'd like to end this dev note by sharing the full field map of the launch version we are now working. Thank you. There it is, man. The full field view. So this is what we were talking about back in the bit where it said about what defines the field. And is the field the whole thing, or one of those sub areas? Is that a field? It'd be interesting to understand what that actually means. Or are these fields like the plural, like Albion, Kingston, Echo Swamp, the Hagus, Sterile Land? All of those, are they the field names, or are they part of the field? And within that, there's the battlefields. That's something I guess Nexon will clarify in the next dev notes, but it looks good. As always, pop in your thoughts and comments of what you think of the new dev notes, and if you can, I'd appreciate a subscribe and click the button and ring the bell, which will help my channel grow from pretty low to pretty huge, I hope. So thank you for watching, And as always, leave your comments below on what you would like to see. And also if you click a like and subscribe, I'll be much appreciated. So as always, we'll see you the next time.